Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. And welcome to one of our last lessons in Module 3. And I think if you did well yesterday, this will just build on that. We're kind of going back into the grouping of 10 ones together to make a 10 and 10 tens together to make 100. And we're just going to put all that information together again. So today we are doing lesson 20, and we're going to be adding tens, ones, and hundreds, very similar to what we did yesterday, except for this time is when more than just the place value changes where you're adding the disc. So let's get started, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So the first one I'm going to do, if I'm adding 1 to 39, so right now I have 39 discs here. If I add 1 to that, okay, remember last week we talked we can't have 30, 10. We have 3 tens and we have 10 ones. We cannot have that. So 1 more than 39, I'm going to have to group these 10 ones together, and that turns them into a 10. So instead of 30, 10, I have 40. So 1 more than 39 is 40. And a lot of y'all would have known that just by counting, but just making sure that we understand the why that we are doing that. The next one we're going to do is 10 more than 790. So I'm going to add a 10 to 790. Now, if you all notice how I put my discs, I put them in rows of 5, so it's very, very easy for me to see that if I add a 10, that I have a group of 10. And so when I have a group of 10, it tells me automatically I need to trade it in. I need to trade in those 10 tens. So my 790 plus 10, if I group those 10 tens together, 10 tens turns into 100, and my 790 turns into 5, 6, 7, 800. So it turns into an 800. So 10 more. Okay. This next one is probably the most difficult one that we're going to hit, and that is 10 less than 206. So if I need to take 10 away, so 10 less means I'm subtracting 10 from 206, I don't have any 10s here to subtract. So I'm going to need to take one of my hundreds and turn it into 10 tens. So it's still, the value is still 206, because 100 plus 100 plus 6 is still 206. I just need to change the way I do it so I can subtract something, because I can't subtract a 10 from 100. So I traded that 100 in for 10 tens, and I'm going to subtract a 10 from that. So now I can have my answer. I have 100, I have 90, and I have 6. So if you have a place that has a 0 that you need to take something away from, you need to take the place value that is larger than that and split it into 10 of those. So hopefully you understood that. The last one we are going to do together is one that you have to figure out what number they started with, and then they give you the number they finish with. So it says 100 less than something is 894. Well, a lot of us would say, I don't really understand what that means. Do I need to take 100 away from 894 because it says less? So let's do that, and let's just do a little fill in and see if that works. So if I take away 100 from 894, and if I say 100 less than 794 is 894, no, because 100 less than 794 will be 694. So that's not correct. So I'm going to need to choose the right eraser first of all. So what this is asking me to do is add 100 to 894 because then that's the number that you're subtracting the 100 from. So let's say that one out loud and see if that one makes sense. 100 less than 994 is 894. Is that correct? That if I started with 994, 100 less than that, so I would take 100 away, would be 894. And I've got 894. So that one's correct. So some of these you're going to have to read and see if it's correct. But if it says 100 less, you're finding the number that's 100 more than what they give you because it's kind of a backwards problem. So make sure that your sentences make sense when you've finished with those. Today you have a Google slide to complete. There are 10 questions on here. Please make sure that you've got your final answer correct before you submit. Your first submission will be the grade that you take. We're not going to continue to just keep doing them over and over again, and they are time stamped. So make sure that you have your best answers before you hit submit. And if you have any questions, ask your teacher, and have a fantastic Wednesday.